guys. So when I was a kid, I played with Lego Ninjago, and I'm sure a lot of you guys find that not very interesting, but in reality, you look at a setting like Lego Ninjago, it's already got these storylines with a bunch of ninjas, a bunch of these characters. But then, as a child, you have that endless imagination, and you can transform this world into something even greater. I also played a lot of Roblox. I actually liked writing about my Roblox character, which is kind of embarrassing to admit, but the idea is I really enjoyed writing in my free time. I loved storytelling. But as I grew up, and I started to realize writing really isn't that cool, right guys? Like, we just have to write these essays for school, and nothing like that really gets my creativity moving, so I stopped writing. I made the biggest mistake of my life right then, and I hope to help you guys avoid that very same one. Alright, so if we think about the greatest thinkers of our generation, right? We have Ernest Hemingway, we have Aristotle, we have my underage college friend. What do they have in common, guys? They all loved, hold on, for some dramatic emphasis, right guys? They all loved to drink, but also they had something else in common. They all loved to write. That's because writing is the most creative thing, the smartest thing intelligent people do. For example, right, when you're applying to a job, imagine you're a hiring manager and an employee or just some resume comes in and it reads, I led the maintenance and operational oversight of sanitation and cleanliness protocols, driving high standards of hygiene and contributing to an optimal customer experience within a large-scale multinational shopping corporation. That sounds pretty good, right? Or it could just say, I cleaned toilets at Hy-Vee, which does not sound as appetizing when you're looking for the best applicant. As a whole, writing is communication, and communication is key when you're trying to get across who you are, what points, what do you bring to the table. It's all in writing. As this person put it, much of professional communication is found in writing. As students, we have to write essays to gauge our knowledge, and then we have to go into interviews. We have to hand them our cover letter or resume. They have to determine based off of our resume whether or not we're a good person. The same goes for college applications, right? All of essays, that's just writing, and how well you can do it can determine whether or not you get a good job or a bad job, or into a good college or a bad college. So who here wants to be good at writing? Yes, sir. And then who here actually wants to write? Because I'm sure none of you guys really want to write. Most people don't write in their free time. And I'm hoping to change that today, because in our schools, we've been taught that writing is really boring. Right? We have the classic 5-paragraph essay. You have your introduction, you have your 3 body paragraphs, and then you have your conclusion where you have to tie it all together. Or, for example, in AP Euro, you have a DBQ rubric. You have to hit on all of these thingies. You have to make sure you demonstrate a complex understanding through your writing. But none of us really like writing these 5-paragraph essays, and none of us really like writing, AP Euro, DBQs, or LEQs. That's because these are all garbage, actually. Because when we're writing for that, we're writing to present it to other people. But I want you guys to think about it, right? We want to be selfish. There are actually 3 reasons why we want to be selfish, and the first one is that writing should primarily be for ourselves, right? The focus on writing should be on expressing our ideas, who we are, to the world, but it all starts with us, not on trying to get a good grade or trying to have a teacher like you. And finally, we have geometric proofs, right? Every geometric proof is written down in writing with if, then, etc., right? And writing is just a way of mapping these steps out logically. As you guys can see here, it's so much easier to say something. I said there were 3 reasons why, but when you put it down in writing, I actually did this on purpose. So there are only 2 reasons why I could really think of as to why you want to be selfish. But this is just to emphasize that putting things down in writing can make you be more logical and more creative, whilst serving as a constraint to just doing whatever you want. But here are a couple of examples of excuses I've heard. And I've thought of these excuses myself. I've probably used them a couple of times when I don't want to write. I don't have time. Writing is really boring. I'm tired and I'm uninspired. So a lot of these excuses make a lot of sense, right? However, we can single out a couple of them. For example, I don't have enough time. Well, a lot of us, we know we waste a lot of time, so in reality, we likely do have enough time to actually write. Same goes for I'm tired. Well, a lot of things are going to be tiring, but you're gonna have to put in the good work, the effort, to actually become a better writer and reap the benefits. However, these other two, writing is boring and uninspired, are actually pretty interesting to me. Because since writing, right, we want to be selfish, really focuses on us, then it kind of says that a lot about your life that you don't have a lot to write about and you're maybe uninspired. But this isn't really a bad thing. For example, in your free time, rather than scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, you could hang out, you could take a walk, like a scenic autumn walk or scenic winter walk with your hands above your head like this, might help you breathe better. Or for example, you could hang out with your ethnically diverse group of friends and while playing a banjo at the same time, Or you could turn into a little Chinese girl and be reading books to help you grow inspired for your writing. All of these are methods in which I have found can inspire me to write. So I'm sure you guys have a lot of thoughts about this TED Talk, like how the clicker wasn't working really well, or how I might have taken a lot of your time when you already know that writing is good. But I want you guys to go out there and write these thoughts down, because every great thinker started with a few words on the page. Thank you.